Hey everyone, welcome back to TechBit Academy. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel.
Welcome back, everyone. Okay, let's dive into this, because today we are unpacking a framework that literally determines whether your next software project is going to change the game or completely crash and burn. We're looking at the fundamental pillars of software project management, and specifically, we're focusing on why the human element is the ultimate make-or-break factor. Whether you are leading a massive dev team, designing user interfaces, or you're the client footing the bill, this explainer is going to completely shift how you view your project's ecosystem. So let's just get right to the core of the issue.
Consider this kind of harsh reality of software development. You can have absolutely flawless code. Seriously, you can have the most cutting-edge tech stack available, brilliant algorithms, and servers that never ever go down. But, as our source material makes explicitly clear, a project can and absolutely will fail even with good technology if the people aren't managed well. Good tech plus bad people management, that always equals project failure. Now, I know it's a bold claim, but as we navigate through this explainer, you're going to see exactly why the human element trumps the technical element every single time.
Think of the 4Ps of software project management as, well, like the 4 legs of a table. And this brilliantly illustrates the macro framework of how we understand what makes a project succeed or fail. So we've got people, product, process, and project. But today, we're zooming in entirely on the very first and, honestly, arguably, the most vulnerable pillar, people. Because here's the thing, without getting the people component right, the product, the process, and the project itself, they don't even stand a chance.
So let's define our terms here. When we say people in the context of software management, it means absolutely everyone involved in the project. It's not just the coders sitting in a dark room. It encompasses the developers, sure, but also the project managers, the designers, and the testers. And crucially, it includes the client and the end users. Literally everyone touching the project from the very first brainstorming session all the way to the final download. It is just a massive, interconnected web of human beings.
Section 1, Case Study, the Food Delivery App. To take these abstract management concepts and really ground them in reality, let's look at a product most of us use all the time. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how in our food delivery app ecosystem, everyone has a highly specific lane. The customer, they dictate the requirements, basically telling the team what the app actually needs to do. The designer crafts the UI and UX, making sure it looks beautiful and is super easy to navigate. The developers, well, they actually write the code to build the thing. And the project manager, they keep everyone's timeline completely intact. But what happens when these lanes don't intersect properly?
Well, without communication, you get a fatal problem. A tangled mess of completely misunderstood features. Picture this. The customer wanted a button to track the driver. The designer hid it in some obscure submenu, and the developer built it to track the restaurant instead. Complete disaster, right? The solution here isn't better coding. It's a structural human fix. Regular meetings and clear rules. That is how you solve the communication gap. It's a human solution to a software problem.
Section 2, the anatomy of a team, the 3 people layers. Let's move to and see how this builds on what we just discussed.
Here is the hierarchical breakdown of the chaos we just explored. Because every single person touching your software project falls into one of these 3 tiers. Top level, the management layer. Middle level, the technical layer. Bottom level, the end user layer. Boom, boom, boom. Understanding exactly where everyone sits in this 3-step structure, that is the secret sauce to getting them to communicate effectively. So, let's break down exactly who lives in each of these layers and what they actually do.
Starting at the very top, we've got the management layer. This includes your project manager, senior managers, and the stakeholders. Now, their roles are completely foundational. They're handling the planning, the critical decision-making, budget control, and risk management. Basically, these are the folks holding the purse strings and steering the ultimate direction of the ship. They aren't the ones writing the code, but they are absolutely the ones deciding if the code gets funded and where it's supposed to go.
Moving right down the funnel, we reach the technical layer, right in the middle. Think of this as the engine room of your project. This layer is made up of your developers, designers, and testers. Their specific roles, that's the actual hands-on creation, designing the system, writing the code, and rigorously testing the software to ensure it doesn't break when it goes live. This is exactly where that big picture vision from the management layer gets translated into actual tangible reality.
And finally, we reach the foundation, the end-user layer at the bottom level. This includes the client, the customer, and the everyday users. Their role? Give feedback and actually use the system. Now, I know it's so tempting to think of them as an afterthought once the coding is done, but remember our food delivery app.
This bottom layer is ultimately who the product is built for. If they're ignored, or if their feedback isn't communicated back up the chain to the technical and management layers, the entire structure collapses. The system only succeeds if this layer actually wants to use it.
So the crucial point is this: success isn't just about your tech stack at all. It's about how well your management, technical, and end-user layers are communicating with each other. So I want you to ask yourself about your current project right now. Really look at it. Which layer of people is your weakest link? Is management hoarding the budget? Is the technical layer completely ignoring design rules? Are you, maybe, ignoring user feedback? Identify that weak link, implement those regular meetings and clear rules we talked about, and just watch how quickly your project turns around. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next one.